Hey everyone, Philly Cheesesteak here, back inside of Fallout 4, and today I'm doing one of the most annoying achievements in the game, Benevolent Leader. So what do you have to do? You have to get a large settlement at 100% happiness. And let me tell you, it's not easy. So first and foremost, what is a large settlement? Now, some of the largest settlements on the map are Sanctuary, Sunset Tidings Co-op. There's one down here, I believe it's called the Murkwater Plant. The Spectacle Island is one of the largest. Warwick Homestead, the Castle, and there's one other one over on this side of the map. I can't remember off the top of my head. But those are some of the largest ones, and there are some pretty big ones over in the new DLC as well. I just left my cursor there for, I don't know why. But anyway, for the sake of this video and the sake of our sanity, we're just going to use the Red Rocket Truck Stop, which is by far the easiest to get this done in. So first and foremost, what are we going to need? We're going to need to up the defenses. We're going to put, I would like to put a note here that this is a culmination of two separate guides. One of which was the original hospital method, if you've heard about that. Where basically you get like 4 or 5 hospitals, a bunch of mute fruit plants, and basically you have all but one person doing hospitals and the last guy doing mute fruit there. I do apologize for any buzzing or anything going on in the background. Got a neighbor with a weed whacker, another one with a lawnmower, and finally me with my computer. So after you do that, we're going to need to buff up the defenses. So this is actually the simplest one. Just make sure you got enough resources to do this. Now I recommend upwards of 50. This isn't completely necessary at all since we're only going to have one settler here. However, I would just do it just in case because you're going to be doing a lot of waiting and you cannot leave this location. So it's better that if this place becomes under attack, you have 50-some defense and you don't really have to worry about it. So after we have done that, we need to build the most important thing. This is for the single settler method. What we need is a bar. And for some reason, you still gain money while doing this. I recommend saving before actually doing this because when you allocate resources, it gets annoying to unallocate them, especially when you get some new mods in. I'm really hoping some of the Eleanor stuff comes over with the Red Rocket stuff. This next part is completely optional. This is if you have the Wasteland Workshop DLC. I put a cat cage here only because cats, junkyard dogs, and the new wolves inside the new DLC give you extra happiness for your settlement. Again, this is completely optional. This is not required. If you're using the base game, don't ignore that last part altogether. So now we have what we need. Now next we're going to need some food and water because this person's going to be working the bar. They don't have time to be working the farm. So what we're going to do is we're going to just drop approximately 15 to 20 days worth of food and water, mute fruit and refined water. You can find this at many of your other settlements, especially if you use the settlement system. I have close to 90-some mute fruit and 50-some purified water. I went overkill because I want to make sure I get this, because trust me when I say this, this achievement literally took me around 8 hours to do. And that's because it's evil. Evil achievement. So anyway, we're gonna find a settler. I'm over here in the cottage, the seaside cottage, and we're just gonna pick a settler because I know a bunch of these people aren't working at all, and I sent one of them to Red Rocket. So now we have done that, I'm now at Red Rocket. Unfortunately, our settler isn't here, even though we left at the same exact time. And as you can see, we do have one person, but they're still on their way. So what are we gonna do until they get here? We're going to sleep between 10 to 12 hours. This will give them enough time to get here. You can also wait, but that's completely optional. Now you can see that the settler is now here. She is wandering over here, wondering what the hell to do. So we're just going to grab her, assign her, or him, depending on which NPC character you had on you at the time, to the bar. Now that the resource is assigned, again, this next part is, again, optional. This is, again, with the Wasteland Workshop DLC. If you, in fact, caught a cat, go ahead and let it out. I did put the cat bowl, which is basically the gather point for any cats. If you have a dog, you'd put a dog house. If you had the wolves from the new DLC from the one guy, I can't remember his name off the top of my head, you can send them here, and if you have a dog house, they'll sit there. Those wolves also give happiness and defense, so keep that in mind while you are doing this. So anyway, I'm just going to free the cat here. And once we do that, the cat will be free. I do cut this off abruptly, strictly because Piper just tried to start a dialogue conversation with me, which for the sake of the video, you guys don't need to see. So anyway, That's the cat. Cat says happiness. Happiness is good. I do this again. I reset it. And just to make sure I, get everything in my favor. You want to have everything in your favor. So now everything's all set up. Now, I can't remember what I'm doing here now. Mainly because I watched this once going through this. But anyway, oh, now I remember. We're going to want to fill this place up with a shit ton of containers. I'm not kidding. So go to the very far right of the containers menu, assuming you're not doing this before the next Wasteland Workshop DLC, because that's what's rumored right now. The far right one only costs 3 wood, the wooden crate. And just go to town. Just drop them everywhere. And there is nothing else really safe here. Just watch the counter. I'll actually zoom in on it in just a second. But just put them everywhere. The only reason I sped this up is because this does take a while. And make sure you've got enough wood to pull this off. If you don't, just fill this up with what other crap you have. Now, as you can see, it just turned yellow. And I just zoomed in here. Once it turns yellow, in any settlement, Red Rocket included, it's classified as a large. Now, if you saw me in real life, I'd be doing air quotes. A large settlement. Now, we have that. Now we can see our happiness is going up. Now, some quick notes before I go on further is you cannot leave the settlement for anything. This is why I say save beforehand before doing this, because if you are big into the settlement system where you have to defend it and everything, and you love that extra experience and extra loot you get from looting the dead bodies of raiders and super mutants, you're going to want to save before this, because I came under attack 4 or 5 times off screen. So I would again recommend that you keep that in mind. So I fast forwarded later, actually I turned off my capture card and fast forwarded. As you can see, it ticked upward. Once you see it tick upward, immediately exit out of the workshop view, go to sleep for at least 10-12 hours, and when you get back, actually I should cut it right about here as soon as it actually starts, because of my cutting skills. Yeah. But anyway, after you do that, just jump back inside of the workshop view like this, and just sit around. Literally, that's all I have to say. Now, this is roughly about 6 hours later. 6 to 7 hours later. I'm not kidding when I say that. I'm not kidding. This was a long achievement. I actually managed to fall asleep while doing this. So as you can see, finally, after almost 8 hours, the achievement finally trips at 100% happiness. Unfortunately, for whatever reason, my notifications weren't working. So I actually had to go in and do this manually. The achievement did unlock because on Windows 10 computers, they have that notification. Those who have Windows 10 know what I'm talking about. But anyway, Benevolent Leader did unlock for me last night at like 4 a.m. It's not a fun one, but anyway, there you guys go. Thank you guys for watching. It's helped you hit like. If you want to see more, why not click on the picture or GIF or whatever hovering over by my bobblehead stand. Go over to my channel. I don't know, maybe click subscribe. Or you can click on my murder wall over there. Check out the previous video on the Islanders Almanac. And as always, have a great and beautiful day, and hopefully I will see you guys all next time.